right, welcome back to Crate Escape Vinyl. We are going to do another Vinyl Vibes video, basically a pickups video. Just have about 7 records that I've picked up over the past few weeks. Have not had a chance to listen to any of these except for one of them all the way through completely, meaning sit down, put it on, just let it play all the way through. Yes, I've heard songs from all of these, but not completely listened to them all the way through. And we are going to start off with Maggot Brain, Funkadelic. This is just a newer reissue. Not trying to get a first edition right now, or original, if you will. But so this is Funkadelic. This is one of their earlier albums. If you don't know older Funkadelic, this is more guitar work. Like it's not, but it's closer to Jimi Hendrix than it is to what you're used to, most likely. But great stuff. Maggot Brain, Funkadelic, good stuff. Cannot go wrong. All right, next up is a newer album. I have once listened to this from front to back. I do like this album. I like everything they've put out up until this album, and I do like this album. But I will say, this album to me, I don't know how to explain it. I want to say it definitely doesn't sound the same to me. I know that their last album and the album before that didn't sound raw, if you will, but like Knocked Loose just has a sound, and I don't feel like this album has that sound. I'm not saying it's not a good album. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm simply saying it's not the same, which is fine. Obviously, people change. You're supposed to progress, not go back or stay the same. And I understand that and realize that. But upon first listen for me, again, not that I don't like it, just it is different than their even their last album. 10 songs on here. This thing's only like man, it's not very long. It's like 30 minutes or less or something like that. Pretty crazy. Like 20 something minutes. But good album. Not saying it's bad whatsoever, but if you're used to listening to the older albums or even their last album, this is just a change. So change is good. Not saying it's bad, but just saying it is. Next one. The next one I have not completely listened to. I've only listened to I know I've listened to the title track, but I have not listened to, I've only listened to 2 tracks, the title track and another one, and I don't remember which one that is. But it is High on Fire. High on Fire is High on Fire at this point. I mean, if you know who High on Fire is, this is the same. It's just High on Fire. I don't know how to explain it. Super good song that I heard. Like I said, Cometh the Storm was the one that I heard for sure. And then I did hear another one. I just don't remember the name of that song at this time. And this is I'm trying to remember where I got this. Gimme Vinyl, I think. and it's the 420 variant, so it's got green vinyl, like a light green shade of vinyl. But the song that I heard, or the two songs that I heard, were great. This one I have listened to, like the first song on it, and I really didn't know what this was at all, except for the fact that it had someone in it. So I saw it. It was like $10, and I was like, all right, well, I'll buy that. And it's in good condition. I mean, it's got some wear to it, but the record's in good condition. So Clark Kent. I don't know how to categorize the music, but this has Stuart Copeland, the drummer from The Police. He's the drummer on this. But I've only listened to one song on here. It's not really 100% my type of music, but I didn't dislike it like a ton. So I will definitely give it a full listen. It's only a 10-inch, so I mean, it's not even... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, it's got 9 songs on it, and they're not like extremely short. So I mean, but yeah, it's a 10-inch. But yeah, Clark Kent, Stuart Copeland. Again, he's just the drummer, not just the drummer. I'm just saying, there's others in the band, obviously. Next one I got, actually a few weeks ago. More than a few weeks ago, but when I ordered this, they actually accidentally sent me the wrong one. They sent me a different one. Still the same band, but just another album of theirs, which I went ahead and just kept because I was like, whatever. I mean, they are what they are and they're good. So, but have not completely listened to this all the way through, but yes, I've heard tracks off this. And they are just great. And that is The Meters. The Meters are awesome. If you haven't heard The Meters, you should give them a listen. It's definitely worth a listen. But this is Apple Red vinyl. 1969 is their first record. Supposedly this is cut from the original master tapes, the analog master tapes, by Kevin Gray on Josie Records. But this is a Jackpot Records recording, I don't know what you call it. Jackpot Records put it out, originally on Josie Records. Great stuff. There's nothing really else to say about it. The Meters are the Meters. The other one they sent me was Struttin'. They sent me that one, and then I was like, no, I ordered the Meters. And they're like, oh, sorry about that. We'll get this sent right out. And they did send it right out. I actually received it within like 2 or 3 days of emailing them and telling them that they had given me the wrong album. And I just went ahead and kept the other one. So they just double charged me and good to go. The next one, I had no idea what this was at all. Not at all. So I 100% just bought it for the cover at first. But I also thought to myself, I looked at the back, I looked at the front, and I was like, this has got to be like funky disco-ish, like Bootsy Collins time style And this came out in 1976. And but then I was like, I can't, it's $5, and I was like, I'll just, and it's in good condition. I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna grab it. I don't even care. And come to find out, I mean, I've already heard for sure one song, maybe a couple of songs off of this record, but it's definitely worth $5. It's worth $10. It's worth $20 to me. Brick, good high. I'm trying to think. It's been sampled. There's a song on here called Dazz, disco jazz, basically is what they're referring to. I can't remember the song. It's been sampled a ton of times, and I'm sure some of their other stuff has too, but for sure that song Dazz has been sampled multiple times. But this is great. If you ever see this out in the wild, just sitting around, I don't even know how hard it is to find. I've never seen it before, but I actually found it at NTX Vinyl, and when it was sitting in there, I saw it 4 different times. And I was like, I should just get it. It's $5. But I was like, I don't know, man. I mean, I do have a section for funk soul stuff. So I was like, it's $5. I was trying to talk myself into it. And then I was like, you know what? Nah, I don't know what it is. But then I just said, screw it one day, and picked it up. And there was another one in here that I picked up at the same time. But it was not there the previous times that I had seen this one there. And it was $5 as well. He's got really, really good prices up there. For the most part, I've checked just to see, like if some of his stuff is just sitting around and he hasn't relabeled it another price because the price has gone up or gone down or whatever. And he keeps really good tabs on it, it seems. So NTX Vinyl, I think I've said it before, but I mean, stores are kind of small. They're inside of a Painted Tree. I think the one in Denton or Dallas, the Denton area is a larger one. The one that's in the Fort Worth store, Northwich and Hills area, that one is fairly small, but I mean, there's a good selection, and it seems as if he's not turning it over completely, but I mean, there's a pretty good change. I mean, yes, there's some of the same stuff is there, but like if people go in there and run through and pick stuff up and it starts getting loose, you'll go back in and it'll be tightened back up again, and you'll find stuff like this. This is another one that I found on that day. This is also another one that I had seen multiple times. It was more expensive, and there is somewhere on this, and that record, that Brick record, the sleeve has some wear to it or whatever, like some little dents in the sides and whatever, but not terrible. Barely any ring wear. I mean, again, that's been sampled tons of times, so to find a good copy that's not completely beat up, but the album itself is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Same goes for this one, but I will say that this one was a little more expensive. And when I picked it up the first, second, and third time, and again, no idea what it was. I was simply going off of the cover again. But when I was just going off the cover, I was like, I don't know, because of the price. Then I tried looking it up on streaming, and I couldn't find it on like Spotify. So I did have to go to YouTube to find it. Started it up, and it was like, I don't know. I'm not even kidding you. Like, I didn't want to listen to a lot of it, but I mean, I listened to like 30 seconds of the first song, because like YouTube just has the whole album, and you just listen to it all the way through, which is good. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to hear what it was and then fast forward and see what it was all about. I just heard 30 seconds of it and I turned it off and I didn't go back to it. And I went immediately back to the store the next day, just because I was worried somebody might get this. And then if I didn't see it again, but I mean, maybe it's not even, maybe it's not even hard to find. I just have never seen it before. So I was like, man, I got to get that. But it is Mom's apple pie. That's all I know. So this little mark right here across her nose, that's a scratch. So I saw that and I was like, man, but you know what? I don't care. Again, the records are fine, so I really don't care. The back is in great condition. Like the back has nothing wrong with it, just a little bit of ring wear. But other than that, and then obviously this, either put it in the cheap bin notch or this promo notch, whatever that is. But yeah, I've only listened to 30 seconds of this, but I can tell you right now that it is ridiculous. So there's a ton of people in this group. So they have keyboards and vocals, saxophone and flute, drums, guitar, trumpet and vocals, lead guitar, vocals, bass, and trombone. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4 people that sing vocals in this band. So, and 2 of them for sure. 1, 2. 2 of them do just vocals. The other 2 are playing instruments as well as vocals, the keyboardist and the trumpet player. Can't do that at the same time. But nonetheless, this was 100% like, I don't have any problems picking this up. This was like $20. I don't know what it goes for. I heard it and I was like, I mean, I already knew what it cost. I looked it up and immediately went back up there to the store. I didn't give a shit what it cost. As long as the vinyl was in good condition, and it was, so I didn't care. Because like I said, I did look at the cover and I was like, man, I don't want to spend $20 on this. The cover's got a big old gouge in it. There's tape on it over here that somebody put on it a long time ago and looks like it's been torn off a few times. It didn't tear it up or anything like that, but just, I was like, I don't know, man. But to me, what the sound was for the first 30 seconds, it's worth $20. I don't care. 1972. Good stuff. The next one I have not heard either at all. None of it. And then this last one, I did listen to some songs on it. I don't know why I haven't heard of them previously. I have heard of this band that I'm about to show, but I just have not heard this album. I heard their more radio popular stuff, like well, you know what I hate is when I start talking about the record and then I don't want to say the name of the song or some certain thing about the band when I'm sitting here talking because I'm about to give away what it is. It doesn't really matter, but I do always trip up when I'm doing that because it's like, well, if I say that, they're going to know what it is. And I'm sitting here holding it and not putting it up here. But freaking Foghat, dude. So what I was going to say is I've heard Slow Ride and the songs off of that album, but I have not heard much of anything else from them. Trying to think. The same day that I got that Brick album, I got this one. It was like $5, and that Apple Pie, and that Clark Kent. So I mean, I just pulled up. So I did pull this up and just click it on, and this is much better than Slow Ride when it comes to like stuff that wasn't just blasted all over the radio. I don't know that 100% because I haven't, again, heard all the songs, but like just turning on the first song and then hearing it for a second, turn on the second song, is like, all right, this is going to be jamming. But so, yeah, Foghat, this is 72 as well. All right. And then the last one, I didn't know anything about this record at all. I feel like I've heard of the band, meaning only heard the name by watching YouTube videos or something like that. Which is another thing that I like about doing this, is that when I watch other people's YouTube videos and I find out about a band that I've never heard of, or somebody that I have heard of, but I was like, you know what? I don't know. I don't know if I'll like that. Watching people's YouTube videos and then just either, you know, most of the time you can't hear the music because you get copyrights, but if I can hear the music, then that's cool. But if they just start talking about it, letting me know, you know, whatever, or just bringing it up and saying like, this is a great album or whatever, then you get the chance to, if you don't know what it is, you can go check it out. If you like it, go buy it, or, you know, start listening to it, just expanding out on different music. But this one is definitely one of those that happened on, and I'm really happy it did. But Coliseum, Valentine Suite, this is awesome. There's nothing else. It's just old school rock. It doesn't have a date on it. This is killer. So I don't know when this came out, but it originally came out on the Vertigo label. Obviously, those are ridiculously expensive to purchase. Anything on that Vertigo label from a long time ago like that in the 60s, 70s is ridiculously expensive. I don't even know if they were out in the 60s. I'm just saying 60s, 70s. Yeah, they had to be. Just ridiculous pricing. So this is just a new Music on Vinyl reissue. I don't know when this came out. This reissue did. It doesn't say. I feel like it said 2015 or something like that, but maybe it's even newer than that. I don't really care. The album is the album. I did open it up and put it on for just a minute. Again, I haven't had a chance to listen to all these, like, almost at all. Feel really bad about that. But at the rate that I'm buying stuff, I'm just gonna have to start playing everything. Like, just start taking off work and just sitting down and listening to everything. But this is a great album. This is 100% ridiculously good rock music. I did turn it on. Like I said, when I saw that other video, I kicked it on Spotify and just let it play for a little bit. I don't know, it depends on what it is, but I don't 100% like, especially if I have it at home and I have not heard it at all. I don't like just playing it on Spotify or whatever and letting it play. I'd rather come home. I'd rather know what it sounds like, meaning the vibe. And I guess that's the other thing. It depends on the vibe of the record if I'm going to be like really picky about not wanting to listen to it in a car. Just because on a car stereo that's just, it's not upgraded at all, just a regular car stereo from the factory, it seems like you miss like a ton of stuff, because I'll listen to something in my work truck and then listen to it in my personal vehicle and I'll be like, oh my God, this sounds a lot different, like a lot more depth to the music, a lot more stuff in the music because of the, you know, I've upgraded the speakers. But that's all I have for today. One thing I did want to bring up in this video quickly is I am going to start like a podcast style or just like a back and forth with someone. not sure the name of what it is yet, but those will be coming out as well. Right now, at this time, since we're going to be doing them in person, unless we decide to start doing them virtually, I don't know how well that'll work. I don't really, for what we're trying to do, meaning I don't really, the whole goal isn't, or I guess the whole vibe isn't really available over streaming, but, or whatever you call that, like Skype or whatever. That sounded old as shit. Video, just video chat. Like I don't know. I don't think what I'm trying to do is going to work like that. So we're going to do it here. The shot will be just a little bit different, where it's a little wider, where there's a chair over here and over here, and a table in the middle, and then we'll have drinks, and we're each going to do an album. And right now the whole goal is to just basically run through the 60s into the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000. I don't know how far we'll go, but basically gonna do, like, at least at this time, gonna do like 60 to 64, and then like 65 to 69, and then move on to the 70s and do the same thing. So we'll do like probably 3 or 4 from each time frame. And right now it's going to be once a month. That might change. I don't know. At least just what we're talking about, it's going to be once a month. If he wants to come over here more than that and do them, then maybe we'll do them more. But they will be thrown out and scattered between the pickups videos, the collaboration style videos that I'm talking about, people and who's collaborated on what. So yeah, just wanted to let you know that I am going to be doing that here in the near future. Probably, I'm hoping next week we can do one. If not, it'll be the week after, but I'm hoping next week we can get one cranked out. I've already got everything set up. I've got the wireless microphones, so I won't be using this one. I'll be using wireless mics, so we both have mic and feed into one input. And yeah, that is it for this one. So Coliseum, Foghat, Mom's Apple Pie, Brick, The Meters, Clark Kent, High on Fire, Knocked Loose, and Funkadelic. Boom. Until next time, and again, or not again, I am sorry I haven't been here in a few weeks, but been pretty busy with kids and things like that. So going to try to be back on a weekly basis with something. Even if I don't have a full amount of records to go through, going to try to be back with something to give you guys. Be it, like I said, that podcast style thing, the collaboration videos, because those I already have those records. And then also, I mean, I can just start busting through the collection. I did get a new shelf. I mean, and I do have an action camera where I can kind of walk around the room with a camera, and it is plugged in, so it can be fed through this feed just the same. But until next time, I will see you later.